Samir Sullakar. I belong to construction chemical industry. I complement CIDC for this India Construction Week 2020 with an aim of revival of economy. We are largely dependent or we are directly dependent on construction industry as we are manufacturing the construction chemicals. I shall give you a brief introduction of construction chemicals, the industry overview, some efforts, some problems that we are facing, and some efforts that we have already done uh, to revive it within our limited means during this pandemic times. This is the basic agenda, the introduction, the industry numbers, the key trends, the action taken, and conclusions. Construction chemical industry is a industry basically which manufactures construction chemicals with the whole purpose of solving the problems during the construction, during the surface life, and even going to the stage of repairs and rehabilitation. So we are connected to each and every stage of construction per se, and our aim is to increase the durability of concrete, which is also proportional in a way to the sustainability, and to improve the constructability. Whichever type of concretes are required, which are not possible to do otherwise, we use chemicals to make the constructability and the construction more viable, more green, and more sustainable. We belong to, we are categorized in specialty chemicals. We are civil engineers or we are engineers who know about chemicals, and we are chemists who know about concrete. We devise the solutions. In fact, this industry grew from the solutions. Those are asked of us by the construction industry. They wanted a self-compacting concrete, so we had to give them a concrete which compacts by itself. So we have to go in and manufacture that particular chemical which aids the making concrete self-compacted. Ultimately, the whole aim is to make the concrete more sustainable, more durable, so less recycling, so that the environment is protected. Our expertise, as I said initially, is a concrete enhancement. We help during construction, concrete repair, when the concrete is exposed to difficult conditions, we repair the concrete, and to avoid the repairs and to make the concrete durable, we have got third and the most important function is the concrete protection. Traditionally, we are sandwiched between two big industries. On one side, there is the construction material industry, like cement, minerals. This is a very large industry, the large players. And then there is a traditional chemical industry, which is also equally large because all our raw materials, cement is also our raw material, minerals are also our raw materials, chemicals are also our raw materials. So in both the cases, all our raw materials, all our inputs come from large multinationals or large organizations. And we as construction chemical industry are basically, our technology is the formulation technology and mixing and blending technology. We provide solutions by combining these both things. So we are sandwiched between all big companies, and we create the values. We create the values. We create a value addition. We increase the efficiency of construction, so the construction becomes more economical. We increase the strength of concrete. So we make very small elements, very small dimension columns, and we can build, save a lot of space to the builders. We make the concrete beautiful. We make the concrete aesthetic. When you use construction chemicals, you also can get a good surface. So we can even go to the extent of making a fair faced concrete, which looks very beautiful. It is gray and it is concrete. Safety, it is one of our most important things that we provide. We protect the structures. Protection of structures is very, very important in these times of pollution. And to reduce, to do a perpetual maintenance and to reduce the costs of repairs, protection and maintenance are one of the very important steps that our industry should take to save the resources. We increase the span of the building by giving it protection or by repairing it, which increases automatically the life of the structure. So the life cycle costing becomes less. And most important is what we are doing very recently. I will not say very recently, but few years back, we are making the buildings energy efficient. We are having insulation. We are having insulation systems, which when applied to the construction, can save your cost on electricity. It can reduce the temperatures in the habitat in the living areas, and this is a large contribution. We save the air conditioning costs. This helps the sustainability on on the whole. Just few numbers. As per some latest data which has been taken from internet, our market size is approximately 9,000 crores, 9 to 10,000 crores. The growth rate, which was supposed to be or estimated as 17% CAGR, due to COVID, it is a little bit less, 9%. Hopefully, if we can achieve it, it is very good. There are about 500 to 600 players, known players, and there are still hundreds of more, which are not known or we do not exactly categorize them because they make a single product, like a single waterproofing compound. The companies involved in construction chemicals are from a wide range. That means we have companies which are 100% subsidiaries of multinational companies, which are manufacturing construction chemicals all over the world. We have large Indian companies. We have large paint companies manufacturing construction chemicals. We have 100% Indian companies who are also manufacturing construction chemicals with their own technology. We have foreign collaboration companies. These are joint ventures between the Indian companies and the foreign companies. We have MSME and small scale industries in this sector. So what happens? This whole market is to be catered by all this type of companies having different constitutions, and that gives this particular industry a lot of difference compared to the other industries. Just to give a data, like the turnover of top 10 companies is about 50% of the total turnover of the industry. As far as the growth is concerned, and just to relate it with the global growth, from comparing the time era of 2015 to 2020, is a very big industry globally. It is some 120,000 crores industry, whereas in India it is 4,225 crores. This is way back in 2015. The growth rate internationally has been only 6.5%, 6.4% per annum, whereas the growth rate in India has been 13% per annum. In 2020, we have reached worldwide about 180,000 crores, whereas in India, we are about 9,000 to 10,000 crores. That means we are growing much more than than the other world. The reason being, we are still an economically developing country with sound education, sound, very good resources, whereas other countries like in Europe and America and all, they're more or less stabilized. So this industry is called a sunrise industry. We have got a lot of growth potentials, and there's a wide gap to be achieved between what is really the industry is and what the industry can go to. This has brought in so lot of foreign players as well as the Indian players, and the industry has seen some significant mergers and acquisitions and takeovers of the existing Indian companies. This trend will continue in the days to come, because as the market grows, the larger companies will like to be a part of the game or the part of the industry. And In about 2025, we are hoping that this market capitalization will be about 15,000 crores. The effect of COVID on the whole numbers, because these numbers are coming from a particular private source, which is also available on the net. It is a study of construction chemical industry in India. It may change slightly or considerably depending upon the length of the conditions we are having. These are the market segments, global versus India. Just to give one or two examples, the consumption of admixtures in India is about 40%, 39%, whereas the consumptions in India is out of India is 26%. This shows that our construction industry or our constructions are growing with respect to what is going on all over the world. Our repairs and rehabilitation is about 10%. Still, it is on the lower side. It should be more. Whereas internationally, it is only 2%, which also means our structures are not that well protected as compared with the global industry. I think this comparison will really lead you to find out where are the gaps in the industry and fill it as far as the products are concerned, as far as the growth of industry is concerned. Flooring, similarly, to come back, that our floorings are about 9 to 10%, whereas international flooring is only 2%. Once again, shows that our industrialization, flooring mostly goes in the industrialization, is far more than the other countries. That is, we are a growing economy, and we have a lot of prospects for the growth of construction chemical industry. Segment wise, about 24% go into commercial buildings. We are dependent on real estate. About 31% materials go to the residential. So this is quite a big sector. So if this is reduced, and the public buildings is about 3%. So this constitutes to about 34 plus 24, about 68%. So if the buildings and the real estate industry takes a hit or goes down due to this economic conditions, our industry will take a direct hit. The infrastructure takes about 27%. Fortunately, we are very strong in it. The projects of building our national highways, our national resources, metros, and dams and other hydroelectric projects is going on uninterruptedly. And this is a very, very positive thing. This industry can contribute tremendously to this infrastructure and the growth. Few trends: the rising consumption of the population. We have schemes from government, PM via Awas Yojana, which will give a lot of housing, which will directly benefit, indirectly benefit the construction chemical industry. There's urbanization. There is a trend that the people from villages are slowly coming to the cities. So with this urbanization, new structures will come, new markets will come, new infrastructures will come, which will lead to a growth. Resource utilization, compared to other parts, India is a very, very vast area country, and the land covered by construction is very less. It's about very, very less compared to other developed nations. A lot of investment is coming into the IT industry, as well as a lot of investment is coming in the health industry. Every industry at the end of the day will need construction or needs the constructions, and that is the advantage of our industry. In whatever constructions, our industry has got an entry inside. Growth drivers: increasing investment in infra projects, growth in urban housing, increase in FDIs leading to the boost in industrial sector, repairs of the existing infrastructure. This is a tremendous market, unbelievable market. And if we start taking the cognizance of these repairs to retain the durability to increase the life enhancement of our civil engineering assets, this would contribute tremendously to the construction chemical industry. Where regulatory environment for the environment is there, and increasing compliance with the we are playing with the international players. So that too is a growing trend. There are limitations. Which are the limitations? Limitations, as I said in the beginning, that our industry is sandwiched between the giants, whether it is for the cement, minerals, and or it is for the raw materials. So we are in between. Our suppliers are top level companies. So we have very less control on raw material pricing. When we are selling to the larger companies, they have a tremendous bargaining power. They need tremendous terms for financial terms in terms of credit, and we have to provide it. Whereas the industry, as I said, ranges from multinational companies to MSMEs. So this is one of the very restraining factor. Credits and payments. Now this brings us into especially the small players. This brings us into the uh, cash flow troubles. Then there's a competition from unorganized sector. Unorganized sector is a sector which is neither they are members of our associations nor they are in the mainstream, but they manufacture some one or two products, and purely by virtue of their personal contacts and purely by virtue of their pricing, they still enter the market, and they keep on growing. There's a lack of awareness. The customer is not very much aware of the materials and where they are to be used, and this is a big restraint which we try to fill up. I'll just come to it. And lack of adoption based on the price concept. This is one of the main things. These are the challenges which we met. How we met up. The main challenge is the low barriers to entry. With a small capex, with a small capital investment, you can start a construction chemical company. Many of the people who were initially working in the construction chemical, they got their own factories. Many of our raw material supplies, like that of sand, they are now the manufacturers. There is lack of skilled manpower, which we are ordered, which I think our CIDC will be covering in the skill development. This is very important. It's a highly fragmented market. It is going from villages to the cities. We have low base material consistency. If we don't go to the multinationals and if we go to the local suppliers, then the consistency of the materials is not there, leading to not very good product at the end of the chain. There's a high price sensitivity. Everyone is bothered about money. There are auctions. There are ways where people want to reduce your pricing to minimum, and there is a low acceptance of high-end systems. This is very important. People are not very keen to calculate the pricing on cost cycle. People are more interested in calculating price of the initial price, per kilo price, not considering the durability, not considering the length of the time the material is sufficient. So we did overcome the challenges? We made attempts to build awareness, work in partnership with maybe small companies, make them partners by getting materials manufactured from them, drive the specifications higher to be a part of the codes, to part of the government committees, and therefore contribute so that the standardization comes directly from the top, and to leverage the core expertise. To this effect, we formed an association called Construction Chemical Manufacturers Association way back in the year 2012. This is an association, this is an apex body which represents most of, but a very small portion of the construction chemical manufacturers who are really interested, is coming to a forum. In coming to the forum, they are really interested in making the product as per the international standards. They are really interested in being part of the industry to bring in awareness. So we have about 60 members. If you see the top names will be the part of the organization. So these people have been already working for past 7-8 years, and Construction Chemical Manufacturers Association have done a lot of efforts to bring in the awareness, whether by means of presentations, whether by means of webinars, seminars. These are the actions which we have taken. Training programs for the end users, training programs for the construction chemical industry so that they become aware, tie-ups with professional bodies for documentation, conferences, seminars, national and regional. We have done both of them, working with BIS, CIDC, Engineering Council of India, development of codes of practice, which is coming slowly, but still it is coming. We are getting standardized. Development of handbooks. Indian Concrete Institute has done a tremendous efforts and now the handbooks on admixtures and handbook on uh, waterproofing is almost seeing the light of the day, and we already have handbooks in ECI on precast in ICI in precast construction as well as industrial floorings. So a lot of work has been done by the professional bodies, and this standardization is coming. Creation of awareness slowly compared to 20 years back when or 30 years back when I entered the country, the awareness level is today quite high, and industry standards are also increasing. The international players are coming in, international standards are coming in, and hence uh, more and more standardization is coming in, and the acceptance of the high standard products is more acceptable as of today. So we are learnings, what we are learning, or what are the conclusions? We are a part of the construction industry. We can affect the sustainability and durability. We can bring the speed and economy and eco-friendliness. Needs still more efforts in increasing the awareness. It is a mature but slowly expanding industry. We should directly go into the specification. It needs a better further organization. We need a stronger organization. Many people, many more people to come and join this movement. More increase or faster codal developments and handbooks. Academicians and professional train academics and professional training. This is coming up in a very very nice way. The IITs and the other top level bodies, they are trying. AICT is involved. CIDC is having skill developing. So this is going on. Of course, we need a government support at the end of the day. Government support at the end of the day to bring in more standardization, more awareness, and as we said, and and as I mentioned to start with, to sum it up in the conclusions, we will need a lot of support from the government with respect to the liquidity, with liquid to standardization, with respect to the skilling, and in addition to all the efforts that we are doing, help from CIDC, help from ECI will be very much appreciated. We shall definitely come out of this times. And once again, I thank CIDC for making this initiative to revive